Smartphones with physical kill switches for cameras, microphones, data, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. Do you remember we made a video about a laptop? I think I called it the laptop Edward Snowden would choose or something like that. It was a long time ago on Unbox Therapy. This was a laptop that allowed you to hit a physical kill switch for a number of features. It even had a kind of delete button, pin-sized SIM card pin-sized button that you could wipe the whole system in a pinch if you needed to. And this was made by a company called Purism, and it was built on Linux. And the whole concept here is a secure laptop experience with no spying. You know, Will?
Yep.
You feel me? Well, now that idea has come to the smartphone because ultimately people have moved on from the laptop. I don't know if you knew that. The world is much more into smartphones, so you would have to have something similar. And it's actually not just one. You have something called the Pine Phone, developed by Pine64, which has physical kill switches that you can actually see on the... Actually, it's easier to see it on the previous article. That's the phone right there. It looks like an old phone. There's your switches: modem, Wi-Fi, microphone, rear camera, front camera, headphone. Oh, wow. But these are dip switches. Yeah. It looks like you have to pull off the rear panel to access them, which might not be the most fun, but it could make you feel sort of like a hacker or like you belong in Cyberpunk 2077, which, you know, a lot of people want to feel that way. But if you scroll down a little further, you'll see Purism is back at it with something called the Libra 5 smartphone. And their product looks a little bit more polished with the cut switches, the kill switches on the side of the device. And you can get a better look if you click on their link as well to go to their website. They've got a little demo video, I believe, underneath there, which shows you around the device. You can click play on that, give us a few frames, I guess. Now, it doesn't look like the most modern smartphone. It looks a little bit chunky here, but it has an independent Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card. I mean, these things it's modular. Right. An independent modem and a physical disconnect switch for each one of these. Camera, microphone, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc. So there's no communication when you don't need it. You keep your data safe on an SD card reader. It's an interesting segment of the market. These aren't going to win any awards for the spec sheet as a whole. It's a 5.7-inch display, 1440 by 720, 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, and a 3500 milliamp hour battery. But that's not really what you're into it for. You're into it because you want the ultimate security experience. You want to feel like Keanu Reeves. You want to hack the Pentagon and all the rest of it. And you know the usual memes. Yeah. But I have to say, I did play with the laptop, and I was kind of impressed by it. I was impressed by Linux, which I haven't used all that much. And I was impressed by just a slightly different take to this thing. You know, we read a lot of stories on here. Remember that story recently? Instagram was accessing the camera inside of iOS, and then Apple said, no, the light to the camera will never be on if the camera's not active. But then the light was on inside of Instagram, so you relied on the permissions of the actual app because they had access to it. So it's like a physical kill switch is a physical kill switch. Dead. Boom. Off. In much the same way if you put something physical over the camera lens, which Apple told you don't do that either.
Right.
So there's obviously some level of demand for increased privacy. This takes it to a far level that most people won't go, but it's cool to see anyways for whoever thinks they need it. There's somebody out there that needs it.
Yeah, making it analog in a digital world.
Willie do, ladies and gentlemen. You could even run ExpressVPN on that device.
Oh, yeah.
Take it a level deeper.